just about platforms themselves.
To the preservation of the national unity and democratic stability.
Water is life, water is an essential service, and we must have to carry out the residents.
Local communities are not only vital to the growth of society, but they also form the bedrock of humanitarian development.
Welcome to the Reporter, a news and current affairs program that goes beyond the headlines, bringing reporters from the field to give first-hand accounts and in-depth analysis of unfolding issues, correspondents' perspectives, ensuring balanced, credible, and comprehensive storytelling. Welcome once again. I am Anieti Patrick. It's good to have you join us on the Reporter today, where we bring you stories making the rounds and in-depth analysis of this story. Let's quickly start on the note as President Bola Tinubu has delivered a firm assurance to Nigerians, declaring he will not back down or fail in his mission to implement sweeping reforms aimed at stabilizing the economy and improving livelihoods across the country. Ubong Usoro tells us more.
The president gave the assurance while meeting with members of the Renewed Hope ambassadors at the State House in Abuja. He emphasized the need to build a stable, peaceful, and prosperous nation, noting that the well-being of Nigerians remain his top priority.
There is no better place than your own country, and no one can build it except you. We saw great things. We see skyscrapers. We wonder how the plane takes off and fly also from one destination to the other. These are no magic of yesterday. It is the thinker of tomorrow and the future that can elevate life, that can reform us all. And being a transformative leader that you are in a good company.
President Tinubu told the group led by Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma that his administration is replacing outdated political and economic structures with systems that promote inclusion and economic participation. He said the reforms are aimed at breaking the cycle of poverty and creating opportunities for the poor and vulnerable.
We cannot submit to disobedience of a lawful order of the court. We must embrace the judiciary, whether it favors us or it doesn't. We submit to this principle of democracy, separation of power, and understanding of the dynamics of it, and the nationhood that Nigeria is. That we must build one country. There's no other way to the path that we embrace to national greatness other than build one nation, one common vision for progress, prosperity of our people.
The president also urged ambassadors to intensify grassroots mobilization, describing them as critical to taking government policies to communities across the country. He said greater citizen participation will help shape a better future for generations. President Tinubu further stressed respect for democracy and rule of law, insisting that his administration will uphold the judiciary and separation of power. He also dismissed opposition pressure, saying he will not be intimidated or distracted from ongoing reforms. Ubong Usoro, Global TV News.
And joining me live in the studio is our political correspondent, Ubong Usoro, to speak to these issues, and because a lot of Nigerians are asking a lot of questions. Hello, Ubong.
Thank you.
It's good to have you join me on the Reporter today.
It's a pleasure to come on your program.
Interestingly, the Renewed Hope agenda is the mantra for the present administration, and then one question we've looked at is the reforms. So questions are asked: can President Tinubu's sweeping reforms truly stabilize the economy and improve everyday livelihood of Nigerians, following the trend of concerns among citizens?
Well, I think that the reforms can actually stabilize the economy, because if you look at some indices, what are the reforms that the president has brought? Number one, there's been a standardization of our exchange rates, where there's no round tripping. We have only one exchange rate now for all. Whether you're an importer, there's no class A, class B. Everybody gets the same. So now dollar can be 1,350, 1,380. Okay. Whether you are going for education, everybody gets the same, right? So the standardization of the process now. Then number two is that there's been a removal of fuel subsidy. That has also been another reform. And there's been taxation laws that have been passed, sweeping reforms about taxation. For instance, VAT reforms that if a produce is from, for instance, we talk about things like maybe cocoa. A place that produces cocoa and to where the cocoa company is met, they should be able to enjoy the VAT from that particular finished product. So if it is, the product is finished in Lagos and it was harvested in Ogun State, for instance, Ogun should get something as VAT, Lagos should get something as VAT. So VAT should be shared more to places that have contributed and not as we really did have. So these are reforms that are brought in. So for instance, states now will now know that we have to do more, because the VAT that we get at the end of the day is not what was usually shared at FAC, where they will just share to everybody. Okay. States have to do more to be able to get more, get into production to get more VAT, and this is good for our economy. It doesn't matter. I know some people may say some regions are not doing, so those regions must look inside. Then for the fuel subsidy, these monies are now put into education, into roads. We are constructing a road that a kilometer takes almost 1.3, will take up 1.6 trillion naira, passing more than 8 states. It is transformational. We've not really had that done in more than 30 years since we came back to this democracy. There's not been really a road that has taken more than 300 kilometers in Nigeria that has been completed. So these are reforms that are seen. The NEL Fund, for instance. Okay.
So I like the fact that you're highlighting the different reform policies and all that. But let's talk about the grassroots, because you said it is cut across board, and it's so the grassroots mobilization ahead of the 2027. As he's saying, these reforms can go across the board. So the grassroots mobilization, will it be enough to win the public trust and support this renewed agenda? Because that's the mantra they started with from 2023.
Yeah, I think that grassroots mobilization at this point is what the presidency have lacked, if you ask me. Okay. I feel that their media, their messaging, their communication has not been as what it should have been. There's been conflict of communication. There's not been a clear-cut communication message. Because the government is doing a lot, but nobody is passing it to the grassroots. And that's what the president was saying, the Renewed Hope ambassadors, who are the primary people to push the message. Get there, let the market women understand how does this subsidy removal benefits them in the long run. So these are messages that should be pushed, and if they can have a clear-cut message to tell Nigerians, yes, we know that things are difficult, but bear with us. This is the things we've achieved within this period. These are the things we are going to achieve more. Nigerians will definitely understand.
Okay, so I hope that with what you've said, and with, basically because of us, the grassroots is the one major concern and one area of focus that they cannot erode away, because they know that's the focus ahead of general elections. But we hope that with mounting pressures from the opposition, that this administration can stay focused and deliver its dividends of democracy for the people of the country. Thank you so much, Ubo, for your time on the Reporter. We look forward to seeing these policies or these reforms benefits the grassroots, and the communication gets to the target. Is the communication, like you mentioned, to get to the targeted audience, because there are a lot of reforms, no doubt about it, but how implementable has it gotten to the grassroots? Because we still have a high surge of hunger in the land and a whole lot of issues that it still is.
Time, but
All right. Thank you so much, Umar, for your time. Let's turn our focus and look at Kebbi State, talking about concerns for citizens. The Kebbi State Police Command says it is stepping up its operations to address insecurity and criminal activities across the state as part of renewed efforts to restore public confidence and ensure the safety of residents. The State's Commissioner of Police, Umar Hadeja, made this known in an exclusive interview with Global Television on the command's ongoing strategies to tackle emerging security challenges in different parts of Kebbi State. Our security correspondent, Kike Lomo.
According to the Commissioner of Police, Umar Arija, Kebbi State Police Command has doubled down on intelligence-led policing, community engagement and coordinated patrols aimed at curbing crimes such as banditry, theft and other violent offenses. Umar Arija stressed that the police are working closely with other security agencies and local stakeholders to strengthen surveillance and improve rapid response to security threats. He added that the command is also focusing on strengthening community policing structures to encourage residents to provide timely information that can assist security operations.
And our collaboration with traditional rulers and other stakeholders, because security issues is an issue for everyone, and information is the lifeblood of police work. So without credible information, we cannot be able to perform, and we are getting that one. Secondly, in line with the instruction of police policy, community policing concept, we are also implying that one, which we collaborate with a lot of stakeholders in terms of sharing of the intelligence, in terms of mapping out the strategy and areas to be for police in order to bring out the level of the crime to the lowest minimum.
The Commissioner of Police explained that the integration of air power surveillance into existing ground operations has significantly improved the command's ability to track movement, respond swiftly to threats, and disrupt criminal activities along vulnerable border corridors. According to him, the collaboration has enhanced intelligence gathering and operational coordination between security agencies, especially in areas prone to banditry, smuggling and cross-border incursions. Umar noted that Kebbi's geographic location makes border security a critical priority, adding that the command is committed to leveraging both technology and interagency cooperation to secure lives and property.
Like, for example, our border with Niger State. Our border between Sianga, Wara and Bagura local government areas, we are having border with Agwara and Bargu local government areas of Niger State, which extend Africa NG Dam. These are riverine areas and the forested areas which are actually occupied by non-state actors, and they are taking advantage of that way to infiltrate into our area and go back. Because of the geographical terrain of the area, it is very, very difficult, for security forces to go there in order to actually engage the terrorists. So that is why also air component will assist us, in order to clear and reduce the level of the crime in those border communities.
The police commissioner assures residents that the command remains committed to protecting lives and property, noting that recent operational adjustments are already yielding positive results in some areas. He further called on members of the public to remain vigilant and cooperate with the security agencies by reporting suspicious activities promptly, noting that the command will continue to intensify its crackdown on criminal elements as part of broader efforts to ensure lasting peace and stability across the state. Kike Lomo Okere, Global TV News.
And joining me right now is our security correspondent, Kike Lomo Okere, to bring us up to speed on what this new development or reforms look like for safety of Kebbi residents. Hello, Kike. It's good to have you join me on the reporter today.
Hello, Anmusi. How are you?
So let's quickly get this on. From the conversation, can intelligence-led policing truly curb banditry and violent crime in Kebbi, or are deeper structural solutions needed? From your discussion earlier with the CP of Kebbi State.
Actually, Anita, intelligent policing offer a shorter, more strategic approach to tackling banditry in Kebbi State, but it is not a cure for all. While it strengthens security operations, the root of the violent crime in the region runs deeper than the policing alone can address. At its core, intelligence-led policing relies on surveillance, informant network, and data-driven analysis to guide the security intervention. In a terrain where bandits operate in remote forests and across porous borders, this approach will allow the authorities to track movement, dismantle network, and target key figures with precision. It will also reduce guesswork and limit collateral damage, as well as improve response time. However, Kebbi security crisis is not purely a law enforcement issue. It is a reflection of deeper structural challenges, widespread of poverty, youth unemployment, and limited economic opportunities, which continue to make recruitment into banditry group. For a lasting solution for this kind of issue requires a coordinated and multi-dimensional response. Intelligence-led policing must be complemented by sustained investment in rural development, thereby creating jobs and education.
Kike, I see that there's a whole lot of introduction to keep the people safe in terms of what we've seen in the Northeast. With the introduction of the air surveillance and joint operations, is Kebbi setting a new security model for other border states in Nigeria? Because Kebbi seems to have the border closeness with other countries close to Nigeria.
You know, Kebbi adoption of air surveillance and joint operations signals a shift towards a more coordinated and technology-driven security approach. By combining aerial intelligence with ground forces, authorities can track movement across difficult terrain, respond faster to threats, and disrupt cross-border criminal networks. In that sense, Kebbi is beginning to outline a more proactive models that other border states could learn from. However, the effectiveness of this approach depends on the consistency, coordination, and local integration. Air surveillance may identify threats, but without reliable ground intelligence and community cooperation, operation risks being reactive or incomplete.
The breakdown to all of this, we hope that going forward, what measures has been put in place in Kebbi, that Kebbi stands to be one of the safe states we have so far. Thank you so much for your time, Kike.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, so let's turn our focus and go to Benue. An advocacy for the implementation of the 35% affirmative action and the proposed reserve seats bill for women has taken center stage in Benue State as the government mobilizes female political aspirants ahead of the 2027 general elections. The sensitization was organized by the special advisor to the governor on women affairs, Scholastica Benso. Benue State's correspondent Felicity Ndere has more.
The sensitization program taking place at the instance of the Special Advisor to the Governor of Women Affairs, Scholastica Benso, is bringing together women aspiring to contest for political positions in Benue State.
So we did a workshop for them to be able to equip them with the knowledge, the skill that they need to move into this space they are coming to, because some don't know the terrain, it's unknown to them.
Benso, who is also the state coordinator of the Renewed Hope Initiative, stressed that a struggle for the affirmative action is part of a broader strategy to ensure that more women occupy elective positions and contribute meaningfully to good governance.
Gather them together to be able to also project them, advocate for them, because that's what we're on about. So historically, it's been known that women have had concessions, they've had them reduce prices for them. So we are also still asking the governor to make it more easier than it's been before, so that it's almost free for them.
Participants at the program note that the training has armed them with knowledge required to navigate the political space. Many commend the organizer for the initiative to prepare women for the challenges ahead.
I want to thank God Almighty because the narrative of women have changed during this Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we are believing God Almighty. What God has started, we surely accomplish. To bring this event together, to project us as women, and to be able to amplify our voice to where our voices will be heard. Right now, she is going to project us to the national and to the world at large. So this event is a memorable event for me and my fellow aspirants.
I've benefited a lot from them. What is expected of us to do out there in the field by the time we get out there, just in preparation of what is coming before us.
The workshop highlights a growing push for increased female representation in Benue politics, with stakeholders expressing optimism that with sustained advocacy and institutional support will translate into more women occupying elective offices in the near future. From the Government House in Makurdi, Felicity Ndare reporting for Global Television News.
Well, we'll see if we can get across to Benue, but let's stick to the Federal Capital Territory, where the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, says the FCT administration is on track to achieve over 80% implementation of its 2026 budget before January 2027. He gave the assurance while inspecting ongoing infrastructure projects across the nation's capital. Kabir Hassan tells us more.
Despite the timeline coinciding with the 2027 general elections, the minister insists project executions will not be slowed down by political activities. Wike explained that the administration is currently operating with the 2025 budget, which has been extended, while awaiting approval of the 2026 budget by the National Assembly.
What we are working on now is 2025 implementation of 2025 budget, and which judges are also in those budgets. By the time the National Assembly resumes here on the 21st, they will approve our 2026 budget. So what we are working on now is 2025 implementation of 2025 budget, which will extend it till June ending. And it's very visible. I mean, election will come, and people must be working. The contractors are their part of the election. People will work, people will feed. So because of election, then we will stop our various works. No. But even before we get to January, we must have done over 80% of what we intend to do.
On infrastructure, the minister revealed that key projects, including the airport route to Kuje Expressway and parts of Kuje Gwagwaladaru, are nearing completion and expected to be delivered by the end of May. He said the inspection tour is aimed at ensuring contractors meet deadline and maintain quality standard. The minister also dismissed claims by the African Democratic Congress that the FCT administration interfered with its convention plans, describing the allegation as baseless. Kabir Hassan, Global Television News.
Well, there you have it, budget implementation, talking about delivery of projects given to contractors ahead of time. Well, joining me to speak on this issue is Kabir Hassan, our correspondent, who was on ground with the FCT minister inspecting this project, and then where he gave his confidence to this issue. Kabir Hassan, if you're deaf, let's talk about this issue. Hello, Kabir. It's good to have you join me on The Reporter.
Hello, Anita. Nice meeting you.
So let's talk about this delivery of projects or the budget implementation. How confident is the FCT minister that over 80% budget implementation can be achieved before January 2027, despite electoral distractions and funding timelines?
Well, looking at the project and how it is going currently and
I went there and I see the pace of the work and the contractor's assurance and their payment have been made. So I believe that all of us, we believe that the project will meet deadline even before the elections.
What progress has been recorded on key infrastructure projects like the Airport Road, Kuje Expressway, and Kuje Gogolada Road? And are contractors truly on track for May delivery, because that's supposed to mark the 3rd year anniversary of this administration?
Well, the contractors have been working in Nigeria for a long time, and they are fully trusted by the government. And we believe that all projects handled by contractors, we do normal check procedures before we give out projects to them, and we believe they can handle that project well.
From that perspective, so I want to believe that the administration of the FCT, that's the FCT minister in charge, believes that the contractors can deliver on that. Thank you so much, Kabir, for your time on The Reporter. Well, that brings us to the sides of The Reporter. Thank you for staying with us on the program. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Time channel 276. To stay connected always, kindly follow us across all socials using @Global TV NG. I am Anieti Patrick. Thank you for watching.
Social media. It's not just about the platforms themselves.
To the preservation of the national unity and democratic stability.
Water is life, water is an essential service, and we must have to carry out the residents.
Local communities are not only vital to the growth of society, but they also form the bedrock of humanitarian development.